we're out here at the scene of the crime. A lot of people have reached out. There were some comments, but people reached out to me, texting me, other forms of social media, sending me messages, laughing about on the aerial video, or the aerial footage on our last video. If you look close enough, you could see Nick fall into the creek back here, the drainage.
Yep.
And he came out all wet, and I couldn't figure out how because it's so dry, but he said it was the fire hose.
Yeah, the creek bed was dry, but I had the fire hose in my hand, and they were reeling it up. So then when I fell, I had the hose in my hand, and then I got lower than all the hose, so then water started coming out of it, and I just kind of laid there for a bit because it felt so good because it got so damn hot.
Morning, welcome back for another video. Thanks for joining us. Today it's kind of a big day here in the simple fact that they're saying that we have a really good chance of getting some rain today, tomorrow. It's been 3 weeks since we've had any rain, and it was 2 or 3 weeks before we got that rain since the last one. So overall it's been we had about 1 inch, 1¼ inches of rain in the last 5 weeks. So some of the crops look great, while there's others that have spots that look definitely drought stressed. I did find a spot out here. It's earlier in the morning too, so this drought stress shouldn't be as bad now as it is in the afternoon, but I did find a spot out here in one of the fields that is definitely drought stressed. I'm just pulling up right now to this. You can see here visibly we got, leaves are turning yellow, they're all wilted down, and it must just be extremely dry in this little pocket. It's kind of weird. I would think this would be better because I'm actually in like a low spot, but something going on. It's definitely, I would say, drought related. As I'm looking here in the ground, you can see, there's some cracks in the ground. I've seen a lot worse. This isn't anything crazy, but just the drought stress beans compared to a little bit better beans to 3 rows back and your perfect beans. So anyway, definitely starting to see some of that, and I really hope the forecast is right. It could rain all day today and tomorrow pretty much, and we really could use it. I mean, that is definitely not what you want to see with your soybeans heading the beginning of August. I mean, these are maybe 10 inches tall now. I could go out in the middle and find beans that are over my waist. So anyway, kind of just checking out some of this drought stress. I'm gonna pop over, there's corn bordering right over here as well, just across the draw here, and I'm gonna go look at that and just kind of see what the corn looks like. These beans that are obviously turning yellow and stuff, I don't think they're gonna bounce back. There's other spots where they're a little bit less stressed, and it's not too late for those. The corn, you'll see, I think our corn looks great mostly, but you can see some fields, I don't know if it's just the variety they planted or what, but the whole bottom third of them is yellow, brown, the leaves are starting to turn brown, and like I said, it's early August, so I don't think rain's gonna help that. Those are probably on the verge of just gonna dry up. So I'm gonna go take a peek at some of the corn, see how big the cracks are in the ground there, see if we can find some that has a little damage or not. So standing here in that transition of beans and corn, I would say this specific little spot here is some of the more marginal ground that Nick farms, but it's just wild to see this. Like, these beans look phenomenal. I mean, if I stand out in here, they're nearly waist high, and then right next to it, this corn is just, I know we're in the end rows, but you can see how just drought stress that is. And it looks like as we move in a little bit, of course, you know, the stalks start to look a little better, but definitely in this spot it's starting to show some pretty substantial signs of drought stress. I'd love to look at the ears here on these end rows, but it's not even worth it. The deer and everything, they come by and they sit there and nip off every single, they eat the silk out of every single ear of this corn, so nothing to look at there. But I guess right in here, it's coming along. I mean, some of this stuff that still looks good, gosh, I hope we get some rain on it today. Inch, 2 inches, 3 inches, I don't really care. We just need rain at this point.
We're out south of the house here, just checking out some of the corn ears, seeing what they're looking like, if we see any issues that need to be addressed. We're just taking a look at most of the ears. We're right next to quite a bit of wildlife habitat area, and so the first couple rows are pretty chewed off and everything just from deer, but there's quite a few pretty big ears already that look like this.
I can vouch that he did not grab the biggest ear in here. He just grabbed one.
But yeah, I can't remember what was planted on this field, but this field is looking pretty good. This would be the first stuff planted, but it's got a long ways to go. And we just had an inch and a half 2 days ago into yesterday, and that'll help a lot with some of these up here that are about to get aborted. It'll help keep those, give them a better fighting chance anyway. So yeah, that rain is really gonna help.
Yeah, I was listening to the crop report on the way out here at noon. You know, of course, that's all that's on the radio, but a lot of areas are saying, or a lot of the, I guess, agronomists are saying, for corn, you might get a little bit of a bump here, you know, like you said, finishing out that last little bit, but they said a lot of the corn, the damage has been done. I don't know if you necessarily believe that for particularly your stuff. You've seemed to be within a 5-mile radius, you know, you're getting most of these rains where you don't have to go very far, and they're definitely not getting all the rains. But you were in the exact opposite position last year where everyone around you was getting it and you weren't. So
we've been getting very lucky and very thankful for these little, just spotty 1.5 mile wide showers that are coming through here. But I know a lot of people around us are missing them or getting way less than what we are. There's some that are don't have much on them for an ear, and then you get some like this where the ear is huge and it was trying to put on another ear. Yeah. They're small kernels, but only time will tell, I guess. But every corn stalk has at least one ear on it. Some are trying to put 2 on, so I haven't seen any with 0, so I'm happy. About 2 weeks ago they were about knee high on me, and now most of them are about up to my hip.
Would you pull a state fair award winner or what?
All of them look like that, but last year our beans were about that tall. And these are looking 100 times better compared to last year. But yeah, it makes me pretty excited for harvest to see what they run. Yeah. Last year it was hard to find a plant that had more than 3 or 4 pods on it that were going to have 3 beans in them, and just about all of these pods that are getting grown have 3. There's a few here and there that are 2, but when a lot of them have 3, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I noticed that on the first one you pulled bottom all the way up to the top. Like, I'd say 80% of the pods on there are 3 bean pods. That'll make a huge difference. I mean, if you think about that per plant, 3 versus 2, it's 33.5% more yield on there potentially.
Yep.
So
Yep.
last year bean yields weren't great around here, especially locally, you know, where you didn't have a lot of rain. I don't even know what they were, but definitely in the 30s at best.
Yep.
So
yeah, and I was looking, I don't know how fast the insecticide that we put on Wednesday, I don't know how fast that acts, but just looking at the bottom of these leaves, there's not much there. This leaf has the most that I've seen, and there's not many aphids on them, which is a good thing. And some of that damage on there, the rain we just had will help get that leaf back, just because the aphids, they suck so much moisture out of the leaves where it dries them out so really badly.
yeah, well, they say beans are made in August, and these beans look really good. It's not like they've seen the benefit of this last 1.5 inches of rain we got a day ago yet. You know, that rain's going to help these things for the next couple weeks, hopefully. Temperatures are surprisingly coming down. It's looking like low 80s, high 70s for like the next 10 days. That's awesome. I mean, it relieves some of that drought stress that we've been seeing. Like on Saturday the other day when I was out here and I showed you some of that really hard drought stressed beans, just little pockets. This isn't going to fix that. Those things are toast, but it's so small. Like, you keep those pockets small and this will help the rest of it. It's like, instead of getting more pockets that are going to be majorly drought stressed like that, you probably won't now if we get another rain maybe. So yeah, this is looking good.
And last year our beans were about right here on me, and then we weren't canopied until like the late August. So we're canopied and up to just about my hip, and it's what, August 7th today. So yeah, feeling very, very good about this, but it's not in the elevator yet.
It's like a horror movie.
I just grabbed 4 random ears in a row. One small one, but then the other 3 are pretty good sized, it seems like.
Oh, those are huge.
Pretty happy with that. Something just went wrong with this one. Who knows why, but
What do you look at in the middle?
just make sure, well, I can't remember what it is, but make sure there's no true discoloration on the inside, and just a good way to tell kind of the maturity on them. Take a look at that, and then these are nowhere near ready, but I just like to look at it, crack that open, and if it's really black on the inside, that means it's that black layer, means it's close to maturity. But like I said, these ones are nowhere near ready.
We should have a couple months yet, right?
Yeah, up by Alexandria, and well, only a couple hours north of us, they're already dried out about halfway up the corn stalk.
Yeah, I
been
noticed
just
that.
so dry up there.
When I went up there a couple weeks ago, I noticed that as well. Like, they were, I mean, they're not gonna, there's no coming back from that with the rain.
No.
But I've been following, I mean, obviously we both follow Millennial Farmer, Larson Farms, and
Yep.
Millennial Farmer's been, they've caught some rain in the last couple weeks.
Yep.
I don't know exactly where he is in relativity to the road I drove. I'm guessing he's a little west yet.
Yep.
And the soil could be totally different. But on that back road there that we were taking, I don't care how much rain they got, that stuff's done. I mean, it looks terrible. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think they have. I know they're a little bit further west than where you and I were.
Yeah.
But and I think they have a little bit heavier soil over there. I don't think they're as sandy as where we were at.
yeah, I would agree.
But yeah, it was just kind of weird to see that in August already, that halfway up the corn it's already yellowing.
Yeah, the day I drove it was like 100 degrees, 90-some degrees, so it was shriveled up and it looked bad.
Yeah, probably about 5 feet tall. So when I was planting, there was this branch that fell off of this tree. Forgot about it. Then when I was spraying the first round, I remembered I need to go grab that. Forgot about it. Second pass of spraying, did the same thing. So I figured while we were out here, I'd drive out and move it. I was hoping to throw it in the back of this, but it's a lot smaller when you're right next to it instead of in a cab.
I think you said that wrong. It's a lot bigger.
Yeah. It seemed like a little branch about that big around when I was in the cab. But it's basically a full-grown tree.
Oh, God. Stacking up on the fence line?
I don't know what we do.
Yeah, we're going to fucking roll it.
That was the light end.
Yeah. Yes, we have to roll it.
Taking out, we'll have to bring the loader over here, or the payloader, and haul that out. That
Yep.
whole tree should come down.
Yeah, it really should. About the ugliest tree left here.
Yep.
I hate taking trees down because I'm just a nut about cover and stuff, but you got ugly trees like that out in the middle of nowhere, it's not doing any good, so
Yeah.
have to take that one down.